All right, welcome to the MMA Fight Game Podcast, along with MMA Cage Chatter and Full Contact Promotions Meet the Athlete series. We are super excited to talk to this individual, as we are very high on his future and his prospect after he went and fought back in, I think, in May at the ESL Iceplex, Bill Gray's Iceplex in Henrietta, New York, where he absolutely blistered a very game opponent who is a world-class striker. We are here with Mason Lewis, who is fighting August 19th in Attica, New York at the Attica Take Down, sponsored by Takedown Tree Service of Western New York, for the 145-pound Full Contact Promotions featherweight title. Mason, thanks for joining us. It's been a long time. I've been trying to get you like a professional. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. Staying healthy, keeping training. Everything's going well.
Well, healthy is a good thing. So we're gonna get right into that. You had a fight last weekend, right?
I did.
And how did that go for you?
It went well. It went all 3 rounds. A lot of action. A lot of throws. I got to work my striking game a little bit more. Trying to mix in adding very entertaining grappling to my game. So,
well, the grappling that I saw back on May 6th was amazing. You did like a takedown, you did a throw, and then you sunk in an finishing arm triangle choke, which was like, where did Mason Lewis come from?
yeah.
Like that was, I mean, the ladies, Ava Chochi and Victoria Cramp, stole the night, but your performance was right up there as well. Now, you finished your fight just last weekend by submission as well. What was that finish?
I got a guillotine choke. So yeah, I was working a lot more submissions this time, figuring out what works best for me, which positions I'm lacking in. So
what's your background? How old are you?
I am 21. My background is wrestling. I've been wrestling for 16 years now.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school in Dover, Pennsylvania. So I just moved to New York about 2 years ago. I started training at Cornell's Olympic Training Center. So their Olympic style training center for the wrestling team. And I just got into MMA less than a year ago. So yeah.
How did you get with the Hornell guys?
So I qualified for the senior level world team trials in wrestling. It's a pretty prestigious event. You have to qualify your way into it, and that is ages 24 and up. So you're on the senior level, and I did that at 18. So I got my foot through the door at a pretty young age, and I qualified to wrestle at Cornell's Olympic Training Center.
So Cornell, like the home of Yanni Demopoulos and all those guys, right?
Yep.
Did you ever wrestle with Yanni?
I have not. He's I do a different style of wrestling. I do Greco-Roman. He's a freestyler, but been in the room with him a lot. Get to learn from those guys. It's pretty cool to watch.
A funny quick story is I knew Yanni when he was just starting his journey, when he was like 7 years old, with Ryan.
Really?
With Ryan Burgos, Adam Burgos. They were over at G2 Wrestling Academy with those guys.
Wow.
And then there's another local kid that we were trying to get on the wrestling matches before all the MMA bouts started, Casper Stewart. Have you had any contact with Casper?
I've trained with Casper once.
Okay.
He's a good athlete. He's a very good athlete.
Yeah, he comes from a great family. His dad's a great wrestling coach. The team that, Rick and Katie put him around, nothing but success. Sky's the limit for Cap.
Oh yeah.
As well. Yeah, this area is a hotbed. Was Dover, where you grew up, was that a hotbed for wrestling or no?
Yeah, it was, well, it was the second toughest area in the state for wrestling, and Pennsylvania wrestling is number one in the country anyways. So every single week you're wrestling top-notch competition. The level of competition in Pennsylvania every single week, you're not getting any easy matches. So
And you have a lot of submissions to your game. How did the submission game be brought in the fold? Obviously, I'm a huge believer wrestling is the best base for mixed martial arts, without a doubt. I'm a huge believer of that. I'll fight you to the death if anybody disagrees. But
yeah.
how did you get into the submission game, and not only in the submission game, but a successful submission game where you're actually finishing fights?
Well, I started doing jujitsu not too long ago, just a few months ago at Brojo, and my coach Zach Burhans has been phenomenal. He has just been working with me constantly the past few months, just sharpening up position, hand position, body position, and all of these submissions. So I have a very decent good grip strength. So when you put all that together and you just learn and get a feel for those, constant flow rolling, constant sparring, you pick it up very quick. So I think that's where I learned the most.
That's awesome. Now you have a 2-1 MMA record. Your last two victories are obviously those stoppage victories that we saw. You're fighting this fight. When we announced the fight, a lot of people had a lot of buzz. Your opponent, DeAndre Porter, is 3-2. What do you know about him?
I know that from watching his matches, he's got a lot of tenacity. He just keeps pushing pace. I know it from the looks of his fights, he looks like he's more of a boxer, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty clear to me to see, but I know he's going to be working his wrestling defense. Maybe he's going to be working his wrestling offense. But I'm just expecting from him constant pressure with his striking, in and out movements. He doesn't want to stand still against me. I'm gonna take him down if so. So I can assume he's going to be very smart in his preparation, and he's gonna do all the right things to try and stop me. But yeah, just lots of boxing, lots of in and out movements. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's that classic grappler versus striker,
Yep.
matchup. I mean, after that amazing performance at Bill Gray's Iceplex, the word is definitely out. What the fight is happening outside. It's in a cage underneath the tent. It looks to be actually really good weather, so all the prayers were answered for that. So there's potential at the Attica Take Down on August 19th at the Veterans Memorial Park there, that there could be 2,000 to 5,000 people. How much of a rush as a young up and coming athlete would that be to compete in front of that many people?
I've competed in crowds that same size. I'm used to being in the biggest stages domestically, internationally. So I genuinely, I don't let that get to me. I take it as, I take it as a spar. I'm gonna be nervous, but I think nerves are good. I think you need nerves, especially if you want to succeed. But if there's that many people there, I won't notice it anyways. Once I step in that cage, I really just shut all of that out. It's hard for me to focus on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And were your parents a big driving force getting you into wrestling, or was it mom, or was it dad, or was it both?
Um, it was actually my neighbor's dad. He came over to my house one day. I was 5, and he asked me if I wanted to do Boy Scouts or wrestling. And I thought wrestling was like WWE, where I could smash people with chairs.
Yes, sir.
So I was like, let's wrestle. I don't want to do Boy Scouts. And I was wrong. It's completely different type of wrestling. So it was my neighbor's dad. But yeah.
What does mom and dad think of you fighting as a mixed martial artist?
My mom gets very nervous. She gets nervous all the time. She doesn't want me to get hurt, but she's also my biggest supporter in life, and she thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And what are your expectations for next Saturday night?
My expectation, I really want to be in an absolute dogfight, an absolute war. I have this obsession of being like a warrior and just going to battle. And I think this sport is amazing that two guys can go in there for what is it? It's five round fight, title fight. So
Uh,
15 minutes and just get to try and kill each other, but not legitimately kill each other. And then afterwards, I hope that all the bad blood can be settled. And yeah, I really expect a war. That's what I want. That's
yeah.
what I want.
And how did this fight come up? I mean, obviously you had a fight last weekend, and then this fight came up for full. How did that all come about, and what made you accept this fight?
So a little less than 2 weeks ago, I got asked to fight last weekend. No, I took last weekend's fight on 6 days' notice. They had a guy that pulled out of their card, and he had asked me. I got a message. My coach did. My coach got a message from a promoter asking if anyone would be interested, and I said I'd be interested. And then the very next day, we got contacted by promoter here, Muhammad, and he had asked if I'd be interested in a title fight, and I said let's do them both. I just want to fight as much as possible. I want to get my record up. I want to get most of all experience. So yeah.
And what would be next after a win on Saturday night?
Next, after a win on Saturday night, would be another fight September 2nd on another card. So that's what I do. I take the other fight 2 weeks after that, and then after that I'm going into boot camp. So around October I'll be going into boot camp, and then you know I just want to keep fighting.
Yeah. What are you going in the military?
Yes.
What branch of the military are you going into?
So I'm going into the National Guard, but I'm doing like an active duty. So I'm going to be working like every day to the National Guard. But I specifically wanted to do National Guard so that I could choose to live in New York and keep fighting. I didn't want to go into Army, Marines, and get stationed somewhere that I'm not able to train in New York.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to still be locally or no?
Yeah, I'll be local. I'll keep training at Brojo in
Perfect.
Portland, Homer.
Perfect. Well, we definitely appreciate your service. I haven't talked to Bubba, but what I'm seeing on Tapology, it's actually going to be three rounds. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's five, but I mean, you sound like you're a cerebral athlete, so I don't think you're going to have a problem going three or five as well. I can actually message Bubba as we're talking here, and ask if it's three or five. So give me 1 second. All right.
Yes, sir.
And then so do you have aspirations to go professional?
I do. I've been on the largest stages in wrestling for a pretty long time. I'm a multiple time national All-American, and I believe that I will be on the largest stages in professional fighting. So I don't seek to go any lower than that. Really, honestly, I just want to take it one step at a time. I want to enjoy my amateur days while I've got them. Just getting the experience is fun. Getting to make mistakes and not have to worry about a paycheck or anything like that. That I think is what I need right now. I want to make mistakes in the cage. I want to make mistakes. I want to see what tendencies I'm creating, things to work better towards. So yeah.
That's amazing. It sounds like, you know, you're saying all the right things. And from what I've seen thousands and thousands of hours of fights. I've been to multiple UFC events. When I saw you fight, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know who you were. But as soon as I saw that first takedown, and even in our post-fight interview, I'm like, Mason Lewis, where did you come from? You know, in our interview that is on YouTube. The future's bright. Also, you're servicing our country, which we all appreciate as well. Nothing bigger than that for sure. August 19th, when I saw you announced as a fight, and then your opponent, DeAndre Porter, there's a lot of buzz about this fight, a lot. And there's a lot of people are talking about it. And I'm expecting the same Mason Lewis performance that I've seen, you know, in the past. But Saturday night, August 19th at Veterans Memorial Park in Attica, New York, at the Attica Take Down. I can't wait. I appreciate you know, taking the time to join us as well. And Saturday night, we're looking forward to it. All right, so just sit tight. All right.
Of course. Yep.